Hey, I'm Lee.
And I'm Cass.
And this is a manga review, because I love manga.
And she's trying to get me into it a little bit.
Yes.
Failing miserably because I like anime more.
I mean, I can't blame her. I like both, actually, a lot. And I like doing the comparison between manga and anime. It's also less disappointing to some degree, except for with the older mangas slash, translation to anime, I've noticed, which is interesting. Or if it's happening while the season is being written, because obviously the anime is going to go quicker than what's been already written, and they're like, consult writer.
Right.
And that way I think of them two different entities, like this is what could have happened in the book series, is how I choose to look at that.
Okay.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Now moving on from my opinion of manga and anime, on to the book manga we're doing. We are doing Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling.
It's a very cute dragon on the cover.
Yes.
She wanted me to pick the manga that she did.
Yes, I was like, pick the one you think you'd be interested in and I will tell people about it.
There was a dragon, so.
Yeah, of course, you chose the dragon one. There's actually quite a few mangas with dragons in it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't think I have any of them here, but I've read quite a few with dragons,
Okay.
because I have definitely a dragon thing.
Are they pretty easy to find at the library?
I haven't looked in the library, so...
Oh, where do you find them? Pirate them online?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Either that or, like, what is it? Yeah, no, pretty much pirating online stuff, or I read them through Manta or whatever.
Okay.
Or I go to the Barnes & Nobles and I just go, I can read this and put it back.
Okay.
It's like, if I like it, I'll come back and buy it.
I like that, that's funny.
I technically treat Barnes & Noble as a library when it comes to manga, because I can finish them so quick.
That makes sense, though.
It does. So that's how some of them I've watched an anime and then I go and read the manga, and vice versa. So that's how I find some of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is one of the ones I technically got from a pirated website. Technically.
Oh.
I know some people buy the raws and translate them. I'm not sure if that's what this website does or not.
Okay.
I just know that that's where I was reading this.
Okay.
So yeah. This story more or less starts with, it's an isekai, which is, for you who don't know what that is, it means transmigrating to another world, generally magical. And you gain magical powers, or you come back as some kind of monster, in general. Yes, so you either are, summoned by, to be a hero for this world, or you somehow stumbled through a crack in time, or you passed away and the gods are like, we're reincarnating you as the new world as this. That's what an isekai generally is. Now you know what that term is if you don't watch manga or anime.
Watch manga.
Yes, watch manga. Look at me. I'm watching it. It's so good, guys. So good. Okay, so he gets more or less but it was when he was rolled up in a bamboo mat and then tossed in a river, is how this begins, by robbers who came into his house.
Okay.
So he's floating down the river, he's like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden he gets isekai'd and he's now a dragon inside an egg.
Inside an egg.
Inside an egg, specifically. He's technically a walking egg. He's got the feet sticking out in, one little eye hole so he can walk around.
I like that.
And so, what is it? He's going around, and, of course, there's that classic video game thing, the narrator, who's like, well, guess what? This is what's happening in this world. And he's like, hey, can't you tell me this? And they're like, information not available. And he's like, screw you. More or less to the voice, because it's like, you're not being helpful. And he ends up identifying himself and finding out that he's something called a baby dragon, and also finding out that he is also very edible to not only monsters, but humans. Yeah!
Okay.
So so it's kind of about him constantly trying not to die, but he also obviously really likes humans because he used to be one. So he's trying to figure out how to, he lives in the forest and he, fights, these monkeys, and he gets this little lizard friend who's poisonous that joins him around. The lizard actually tried to kill him at first, but then they gained, mutual respect and started loving with each other.
Okay.
And he starts...
Does the lizard talk?
The lizard does not talk.
Darn
I'm
it.
very sad. None of his animal companions he ends up getting talk, because I think it's because of the whole entire technical still language barrier with animals. I'm sure if he found another dragon, he could talk to it.
Right,
but
probably.
We have not came across that quite yet. And there's this village girl who more or less saves him from getting eaten by her other companion. She's like, no, what are you doing? it's a baby!
Right.
But he can't actually understand the language, which is interesting because in most isekais, everyone can automatically understand the language of where they're transported into.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only 2 or 3 that haven't done that, maybe 4, that I can think of. So he can't understand what she's saying, but the more she talks, the more he starts to, like, understand the language.
Mm-hmm.
And the village ends up getting attacked by this giant earth dragon. That's the only one we kind of run into, and he ends up having to save the village from it. But by then, he's kind of taken this dark dragon path, because the dark dragon can be learned to transform into human, but the evolution paths in this are also dictated by more or less your choices you make morally. Like, you can still evolve into other ones, but, you know...
So, he becomes evil to become human.
Yeah, pretty much. And
That's really interesting.
Yeah, so he becomes, like, a poison dragon thing, but the morph isn't complete, and you can only hold it for 5 seconds, so he still looks pretty much like a monster until he levels up the skill or whatever.
Okay.
Or evolves again. I'm not sure. They weren't really clear on that.
Okay.
And he ends up more or less saving the village, but, the villager thought he was a pretty cool, dragon,
Mm-hmm.
but to win the battle, one of the other guys was like, I'm a human, you get more experience points by eating me, I'm probably gonna die anyway, so just eat me and beat this dragon, save everyone in the village. So he eats the villager, no one else has context for this, so you see him eat a guy. And they're like, no, what are you doing? We thought you were a good guy. And he beats the earth dragon and obviously ends up kind of running away and actually falls into the ocean.
Jeez.
It's sucked away, and the salamander friend's like, no! And he ends up in the middle of a desert.
Okay.
Where he runs into, like, this little bunny hoppy thing. It's super adorable.
Aww.
And it's like loves eating meat, and he's like, you know what, you are now my new friend. He's like, I'm gonna train you up, little bunny. So he starts training up this bunny that has, like, this black hole mouth that just goes to, like, anything. It's
like, the pink thing. The pink video game thing.
Yes, kind of, yeah.
I can't remember the name right now.
So, and that's kind of more or less where I left off, and he managed to find, like, a wolf slave girl, like, abandoned in the middle of the desert, and he's kind of like, okay, I guess I'll save this person too, and that's kind of where I left off in that manga.
Well,
so.
If he's saving all of the people, then he's not going to get evil enough to be a human.
Well, he doesn't technically have to become evil to become a human, it's just the path he chose is technically an evil dragon. Like, right now he's evolved to a level where if he spreads his wings, a bunch of corrosion will happen around him, so he's technically just a very poisonous dragon at this point.
How does he fly? Does he just corrode things?
Yeah, he just corrodes things. Right now, he just walks around. He doesn't fly right now.
Oh, okay.
Because he's like, I don't want to kill everything in a 50-meter radius of me.
Right.
So he's like, and this is also why it's good I'm in a desert till I figure things out. So that's kind of where the book left off from when I last read it.
That sounds really good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this is just the first book. The rest I kind of read on the other side, and then I finally saw that it's finally in America, so I bought the first book because I do feel like I should, if I'm technically reading for something that may be pirated, I should probably do my dues and actually buy the book when it gets here. Yeah. That's my way of still contributing, like...
Kirby. That's the pink thing, right?
Yes, Kirby.
Okay.
Yes, Kirby. It's technically a Kirby thing, yeah.
Okay.
And I love how he's leveling up the line. He's like, you know what? I'll level you up, buddy. You'll live.
That's funny.
So that's what this is right now. And he actually gets like a whole gang of monkeys too, which is funny. I love the little things that happen throughout this story. There's one part I think I want to try and find Richie. I'm pretty sure it's in this one.
I have a cat chewing on my shirt.
Yes, the cat loves you. It respects you.
It respects me.
It respects you. Like, okay, I'm just gonna tell you, like, he finds a poisonous mushroom and he uses, like, to identify one, and it's like, he's like, oh, this is, like, was it, because it has all this beauties and it's really rare, so it's, like, really expensive, but then he finds out it's, like, this really dangerous narcotic, and he's like, wait, no! And he, like, burns all the mushrooms. He's like, let's not do that! And then he gains the title of mini hero, and he's like, seriously?
We could have sold those for so much gold.
He could have, but he was like, nope, this sounds really bad. And then they're like highly addictive and all this stuff. And he's like, nope.
That's really interesting. That's going to be on my to-read manga list.
Yeah.
Right.
I've already shoved a few manga books in her face, but,
yeah.
But I'm not sure if she's read any of them yet. I think I gotta find some darker ones for her to be satisfied.
I really, really want to read the two that you got me. I'm just nervous because I don't know how to pirate manga. So if I really like the slime one, like...
Well, it's also on Funimation. It's going pretty true to the manga if you want to watch it there.
Okay.
And it's,
so I can read the first book and then watch the anime.
Yeah, and I have a few apps I can tell you about, and Kiri has a few websites.
Do they cost money?
No.
Okay.
Just a few occasional ads on the one I watched.
Talking about
I totally hope the police do not find this and they would arrest me.
They won't.
I mean, I do buy the books after I find them.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm technically, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I do like this. I use it more as a, I guess, test tasting thing.
Yeah.
In a way.
And if they're not in, America yet, what do you do?
Exactly. Like, I found Skip Beat first on a pirating thing, and then I just went and I'm practically collecting the whole collection now. That's how I find most of my books, and I just go out and then go collect them, because I do like physical copies better than online stuff.
I think I've bought a decent amount of Skip Beat. I know.
Yes, she has for me.
I've bought a decent amount.
I think you've bought at least probably 8, maybe 10. I feel like you bought most of mine, honestly. It's probably more like, let's see, you gave me 4 for 1. Yeah, so it's 8. It's 8 books.
Wow. And then I've bought like
a few Yonas too.
Yeah,
for me.
I have.
I think you bought me more Yona than anything else.
I think so too.
But I love my Yona.
Yeah, Yona at the Dawn. Alrighty.
I still gotta make her watch that anime too. It's good. That's how I first got into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of my manga review. I definitely love this series. I think it's really funny. I would probably give it 4 stars because I'm not really sure where the plot's going. But I am enjoying it, to no end.
Okay.
So, it's like, I don't know where direction we're heading in with all this, because it seems like he's gathering friends along the way, but I'm still not sure what the end game of this manga is yet, so I'm waiting to see before I give it 5 stars.
Alright. Like and subscribe.
And we hope to see you back.
We hope we made you laugh.
Not that there's anything to laugh about.
We're funny.
We are funny.
That's what to laugh about. Okay. Bye.
Bye.